Who had that shot of whiskey? Yeah, let's have that shot of whiskey now. I think it's whiskey time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only going to do half of it now. That's a big shot. I'm from Europe, we do pussy shots. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two types of people in this world. There's people who shoot Jameson and people I'm not friends with. Cheers! Do you think I'm joking? What does anyone want to hear, other than of my own? Do I get that? Do you mind if I tell a story before I play that song? Does anyone mind if I tell a story? I know that, you know what? I know the set's got a bit disparate at this point. I know it's not actually fucking wall-to-wall hits yet. It's not like a Tom Petty encore yet, but we'll get there. I used to go on a lot of demonstrations in the United Kingdom when I was younger. I used to throw bricks at the police and think it was going to solve anybody else's problems. What a twat. Anyway, I stopped doing that. But the last big demonstration I went on was in 2001 in London. There was a big demonstration in Soho. And I went down. And I have to admit that my reasons were more social than political. You know what I mean. Anyway, I went down, and the police in the UK do this thing called kettling, right? Which is where they get demonstrators, and they pin you into a small area, and they make you stand there for 8 hours. You're not allowed to piss, and then obviously you do piss, and then they arrest you for pissing in public, and the entire thing's completely retarded. Anyway, so I went down, and I was just hanging out, you know, being a bit cool. Like this. And I saw that the police were starting to kettle the crowd, and I thought, fuck this, I've got better things to do than stand here for 8 hours. So I was making my way towards the exit, but before I get there, this line of riot cops going comes bustling through the crowd, slams into the wall, bam, line of shields, I'm fucking trapped, right? I spin on my heel, and I run straight into, I think she was pretty much the first girl I ever slept with, who's deeply annoying, who said, oh, you haven't fucking called me in a while. And I thought to myself, oh, bollocks. I cannot be here for 8 fucking hours with you giving me shit, not pissing. Anyway, so I went back to the police, and I found the head copper, who was identifiable by his bright plumage. And I said, I have to get the fuck out of here. And he said, you and everybody else, mate, you know, fuck off. And I said, no, my good sir, I fucking need to leave. And I explained to him, I told him my great tale of woe about how fucking annoying this woman was. And I'm not being rude. If you met her, she would piss you off too. She is genuinely annoying. Anyway, I told him this huge long fucking story about why I didn't want to be trapped with her for 8 hours. And he listened intently. And after me telling this whole story, he looked around and he hit me in the head with his shield. I was like, ow! Went down the floor. I'm lying on the floor. He grabs my collar, he pulls me through the police lines. And he's running, and he's got me up on my feet. It's like he's holding the scruff of my neck. We're running away from all the cops and the demonstrators. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And we get to the first alleyway away from it. So we're out of the line of sight of all the other cops and all the other demonstrators. And I'm like, I'm totally getting Rodney King'd. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything is fucked. And I'm around this corner, and the dude spins me around. He grabs me by the lapels of my shirt. He looks me deep in my eyes, and he says, run. True fucking story. The moral of this story is not all cops are bastards. This song's called Love Iron Song. Well, a teacher of mine once told me that life was just a list of disappointments and defeats, and you could only do your best. And I said, well, that's a fucking cop-out. You're just washed up and you're tired, and when I get to your age, well, I won't be such a coward. But these days I sit at home and not to shout at my TV, and punk rock didn't live up to what I'd hoped that it could be, and all the things that I believed with all my heart when I was young are just coasters for beers and green surfaces for drugs. And I packed all my pamphlets with my Bible at the back of the shelf. So it was bad enough, the feeling, the first time it hit, when you realise that your parents and that the world will go to shit, and that the values and ideals for which many had fought and died had been killed off in the committees and left to die by the wayside. But it was worse when we turned to those kids on the left and got let down again by some poor excuse for protest, yeah, by idiot fucking hippies in 50 different factions who looked inside some kind of 60s battle reenactment. So I hung up my banner in disgust and I head for the door. Oh, but once we were young and we were crass enough to care, but I guess you live and learn. We won't make that mistake again, no. Oh, but surely just for one day, yeah, we could fight and we could win, and if only for a little while. We could insist on the impossible. Well, we've been a good few hours drinking, so I'm gonna say what everyone's thinking. If we're stuck on this ship and it's sinking, then we might as well have a parade. 'Cause if it's still gonna hurt in the morning and a better plan's yet to get forming, then where's the hope spending an evening in manning the old barricades? So come on, old friends, to the streets. Let's be 1905 and not 1917. Let's be heroes, let's be martyrs, let's be radical thinkers who never have to test drive the least of their dreams. Let's divide up the world into the damned and the saved, and then right to the valley like the old light brigade, and straighten our backs and we won't be afraid, and they'll celebrate our deaths with a national parade. So come on, let's be young, let's be crass enough to care, let's refuse to live in love. Let's make all our mistakes again, yes. And then, darling, just for one day, yeah, we could fight and we could win, and if only for a little while. We could insist on the impossible. Leave the morning to the morning, yeah, pain can be killed with aspirin tablets and vitamin pills, but memories of hope and of glorious defeat are a little bit harder to beat.